all my millions of viewers. I know you guys are sad that I was gone, but don't worry, I'm here.
Lose steam and fall off track just because things are not showing up in the way that you might expect them to, in the way that you might perceive them to. So we're going to discuss all of this today. So if manifestation and conscious creation are topics that you are interested in learning more about, then definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so that way you're notified every time I come out with new content every week. If you're interested in more resources such as one-on-one coaching, I will leave the link for that down below, along with other helpful resources, so definitely don't forget to check it out. So if you find that this is something that happens to you, which it does happen often to a lot of people, stick around through this video because we're going to discuss how to make sure that everything is good and that you're on the right track to get what you want. So first off, let's talk for a second about what exactly is an incomplete manifestation. This phenomenon happens when you are trying to manifest something and things seem to be progressing in the right direction, things seem to be going on the right track. You're noticing little things that are saying that you're doing this right, you're feeling better.
Oh no.
You
Oh
notice
my
that
god.
internal shift, but then maybe things are
Oh
not
my
happening
god.
in the exact way that you planned, or maybe they are not progressing in the way that you would expect or the way that you would assume, and you're wondering what the hell is going on here. And I'm going to use a really common example because this happens more often than not with people who are manifesting a specific person, at least from what I've noticed. Say that you are trying to manifest your SP, you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, you're being mindful of your thoughts, you're imagining every day.
I mean, good.
And they reach out to you, and you start talking, and things seem like they're going well, but then maybe he or she goes cold again. Maybe things start to sputter out, or maybe they're not progressing as quickly as you may have wanted. What the hell is up with this? So first and foremost, I want to make it very, very clear, because this is something that I notice people tend to get hung up on.
Meow, meow.
So I want to make sure that you guys understand that there is really no such thing as an incomplete manifestation.
What?
Because everything is always a work in progress. And
Oh.
that is life in general. That was what we knew even before we stumbled onto this. So to say that something got screwed up or that it only manifested partially is not accurate. You are always, always, always manifesting. Again, this is not pointing to a sign that things just abruptly shut off or shut down, or your manifestation just stopped working, because it is literally impossible for you to stop manifesting. What happens more often than not in this scenario is you were on the right track. You were on the right track, you were living in the end, you were persisting in that assumption that you and your SP were back together, and therefore things started to progress in the right direction. He reached out to you, or she, they reached out to you, communication picked back up, but then they may have fallen cold again, or then they may have just stopped talking to you, or didn't really show the signs that you were hoping that they would show you. Well, again, you were on the right track, but then you notice that steam start to drop off, or maybe you had an expectation that things were supposed to go an exact certain way, and when they didn't, you might have said, screw it, this isn't working, or why isn't this going the way that I want it to, or what am I doing wrong? And when you do those things, and when you say those things, and when you believe those things, you effectively blow up your manifestation. Things were going in the right direction until you started to doubt yourself, until you started to question your progress, until you started to get that naysay mindset and fall back into that habit. And then, of course, once you do that, things are obviously going to stagnate, because, again, everything is just an out picturing of your imaginal acts, of what you believe is true. So these manifestation incompletions, or when your manifestation doesn't seem to manifest entirely, these happens more often than not because you are double-minded. or because you're mixed back and forth, you're not persisting enough. You got to remember that you might expect them to or might want them to right now does not mean that you're not on the right track. If you're seeing progress and then that progress stalls, you really got to ask yourself, where has my mind been lately? Have I honestly been persisting in my end result, or have I been starting to question things? Have I been reverting back to my old habits and my old thinking patterns? And really be honest here. Really be honest with yourself when you're doing this, because I can promise you 1000%, if you stop and notice where your mind was or where it started teetering off, it was around the time that you started to doubt and you started to question and you started to think, wait a minute, why aren't they doing what I want them to? Why is this not moving fast enough? Why aren't they expressing their love for me already?
Sorry.
You must give up on reactionary thinking. Now, this is something that doesn't come easily and effortlessly. This is something that you do need to work on, because we're all in the habit of doing this at first. But that quick reaction, which sets off that trigger, which leads you snowballing and spiraling into that doubting and naysay and negative mindset, is going to be what interrupts and what causes things to stagnate, what causes things to not flourish and not fully grow into its full potential. Don't make your mind dependent on what is happening around you. Don't try to focus on what's going on outside of you. Again, keep the blinders on and keep it inside. Focus on what you're doing internally. Focus on where your thoughts are. Focus on what your
By the way,
mindset
this is again Missy Renee on YouTube.
The inner conversations that you carry throughout the day. Focus on where you are dwelling. Notice your moods. Notice your reactions. These are all things that you need to be consistently applying and working on. Because when you are going back and forth like that, when you are going from persisting in that wish fulfilled and living in the end and being stubborn about staying there, and then a couple minutes or hours or days later, you go right back to the questioning and the doubt, and you're back and forth and you're all over the place, naturally that's going to produce mixed bag results. So this boils down to being double-minded.
Oh my god.
That reactionary habit, or that noticing everything that's going on the outside around us, and
Oh my god.
what we're doing wrong.
I'm doing this on the MacBook and the keypad's so small, so it's really easy to accidentally press the wrong key.
Lack of what you have, and noticing the lack of what you want. Start looking at the outside world as feedback. Start to look at what your outside circumstances are telling you as what you need to focus on internally, because that's all it is. It's just a mirror. It's just going to show you the contents of your concept of self. And the second thing I really want to press and make sure that you guys understand is that you have to remember that things are never final. Things are never done unless you say they're done, unless you commit to that and declare it and set that intention. Because things are always progressing. You're always moving from different states and different experiences and different reactions throughout your life.
Good.
So nothing is ever done or incomplete because it's never fully finished to begin with. Even after you do get your SP back, if you revert back to your old patterns and your old mindset, you might wind up in the exact same scenario all over again. So we have to drop that notion that something didn't happen or it's incomplete or not finished, because that's never ever the case. Even if it's not showing you the results that you want right now, does not mean that you screwed up somewhere or that things aren't done or that you did something wrong. You can your outside reality is malleable. You can change it. You can mold it. You can fix it. Just as easily as you created that negative situation, you can turn around and create a positive situation just as quickly and effortlessly once you get used to that mindset. Once you start controlling the direction of where you're putting your focus.
Oh wah, wah.
Thing to note is if things are showing progress and then they may stagnate or things may not go exactly how the way that we want them to, that's not a bad sign. It's actually a very good sign. If you notice progress, that means that you're on the right track. And that means that there is, in fact, a bridge of incidents that is unfolding for you. But the problem becomes when we try to look for it. The problem becomes when we start to get frustrated that things aren't going a certain way, because you're not going to know in that moment what your bridge looks like. You may look back in hindsight and in retrospect and be able to see what happened, but in that moment, you're not going to be able to tell that this is in fact your bridge of incidents folding out for you. And it's not going to look like anything that you consciously can conceive, because our higher mind or our subconscious knows ways in which our conscious minds could never conceive. So if you notice progress, if you notice things happening in a way that may not look like it makes sense, but it's showing improvement, then rest assured you're on the right track. So keep going. If things start to sputter, if things stall or stagnate, just keep going. The stalling and the stagnation is usually a sign that you're having those doubts and you're succumbing to those old
Oh my
habits
God.
and those old negative thinking patterns again. There's a saying that's been going around, and I'm not sure where exactly it came from, but a lot of people have asked me about it, and that's the phrase birds before land. And basically what that means is that there are some things happening, some things pointing to the signs that your manifestation is on the way, but again, it might not look exactly what you perceive it as. One of the most common instances of birds before land is when you're trying to manifest an SP, but then maybe a different ex reaches out to you, or somebody else entirely reaches out to you and starts to tell you those things that you'd rather your SP say. This is an example of birds before land, and some people can look at this as an incomplete manifestation, but this is a really common occurrence, and if this is something that's happened to you, then you can be assured that this is a really positive sign. This is a really good sign that's telling you that you are in fact in that right state. You are in the correct state that will allow that experience in your life. Now, it may not be your SP at this moment, but overall, it is showing you that you are in that state where you are lovable, where you are a god or a goddess, and that the momentum is going in the direction that you want it to. So rest assured, if things like this are happening to you, if you're having these crazy kinds of experiences where it may not be your SP specifically, but maybe other people are reaching out and confessing their love and telling you how wonderful you are, those are signs that you are on the right track. So do not be discouraged if this is the case, because that
Oh my
is
God.
100% a
Hi, my
direction
one
that you
person.
want things to go. And there's a passage I want to give you guys. If
This is
you're ever
Missy
finding
Renee on
yourself in that
YouTube
state
who's
of
speaking, by the way.
discouragement,
Like on
I
the
used to always remember
audio.
this one when I was having trouble and when I was struggling. So I want you guys to remember this and keep it in mind going forward. Ask in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like the wave of the
Hold on,
sea that is
I will
driven
read in this.
by the
Fuck.
wind.
Oh, it's you
Not
just
that
saying hi.
person, but
Hi.
that double-minded man,
How are
unstable in
you?
all his ways, shall receive anything from the Lord. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. For if you are a hearer only and not
Sorry.
a doer, you are
I'm
like
sorry,
a
I'll
man
do
who
better.
observes his natural face in the mirror and then
I
goes
can
his
actually do
way,
really good.
forgetting
I
what
can
he
actually
has
do really
said.
good, I promise. Hold
But if
on.
you are a doer of the word
Hold
and
on.
not just a forgetful hearer, you will look into this perfect law of liberty and preserve.
Just watch. Hold on.
That man
Wait for
shall
it.
be blessed in all his doings.
Wait for it.
So again, what this boils down to is that usually this means that you're on the
Hold
right
on.
track.
Just give me a
You
second.
were on the right track. You may have gotten deterred. You may have
I got on my mask on, so I want to be quick here.
Oh shit.
Come on, you gotta lift. You're gonna have to hold it. It's not gonna fit there.
Hold on.
It's not gonna work there. He's gonna knock it down. Enough room, and it's gonna spill.
Nothing is ever set in stone.
And you got this.
Put it down right there.
Because it bears
Napkins.
repeating. Nothing is ever complete unless
Sorry
you
about that.
decide that
Oh,
it
hi,
is.
second
There
person.
is no such thing as an
Um,
inconsistent manifestation or an incomplete
hi.
manifestation. The law is always working perfectly, and it's always going to show you
My mom came in and she
how
brought
to
me some
scope
soup
the
because I'm
result
sick.
concept.
Got
So
COVID.
look to the outside as feedback of what you might need to adjust, what you might need to work on, and what you might need to change. And
We're
do
listening to
that
Missy
reaction
Renee on
mindset.
YouTube
Really start to work on that
about
knee-jerk
manifesting.
reaction and not going off and spiraling and dwelling on terrible things just because something may not be perfect or something may have come up that you don't like, because you are the creator. You decide. You decide what happens. So just as easily as you put that circumstance there, or just as easily as you change that circumstance, you can change it again. You can point it back in the direction that you want it
Shit,
to
how
go,
do I...
and
Fuck.
really build from there. But you have to be mindful of where your thoughts are and of being double-minded and going back and forth, because 100% of the time, that's going to cause a mixed bag of results. That's going to cause things to be inconsistent or incomplete.
She's my little fluffy munchkin.
Remember that everything
Oops.
is a work in progress.
This is my little fluffy mane.
You
Here's
cannot
Mr.
feel at this
Fluffy
moment you have
Munchkin.
decided
This is
that
my
you
little
can
fluffy
and that you
munchkin.
have. You can always get
Thank you,
there
Munchkin.
and get that momentum going again. So I want to encourage you all to do so, because just the fact that things were going in the right direction for you showed that you were in fact on the right track. So pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. You will be so incredibly thankful that you did. Once you have really gotten into the habit of focusing your mind and keeping yourself grounded in that state of wishful spirit, you can fix anything, you can change anything, you can absolutely turn any circumstance around, no matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how bleak it is, it doesn't matter how much
I'm gonna change the color.
or if your SP has gone and completely silent again. None of that matters. Get back in that state. Once you are able to do this, once you master this, you will be the master of your world, and you will have mastered the game of life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in checking out any of my other resources, I will leave the links below to one-on-one coaching, my blog, and my social links. So
Oopsie poopsies.
and do not forget to check out my other videos over here. Each video is a different topic, but they all talk about how to manifest the very best.
Okay, I need her video that's
Take care, be well,
the reversed,
and never forget that it's not
something reversed thing. Oh, I think she links it in this video.
How you are feeling. Check in with yourself throughout your day. 95% of the day, we are running on autopilot. It can be really easy to have things go completely.
Law of reversed effort. Get out of your own way. I saw this before, but we need to watch it again. Listen to it again.
What is up, you guys? I am Missy Renee.
I'm really
In
fucking
today's
hungry,
video,
so
we're going to talk about
let's
one
see
of
how long
the
is this
most
video.
common reasons
Well,
that
I'll play a little bit longer, and then I'm
people
gonna go, you
have
guys.
resistance to whatever it is they're trying to manifest, and what they're doing wrong in this manifestation process. We're going to talk about what it is, and even more importantly, how to overcome it so that this process becomes a much easier one. So if manifestation and conscious creation are topics that you are interested in learning more about, then definitely do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that way you're notified when I release new videos every week. If you are interested in working with me or any of my other resources, you can check them out down in the description box below. I have a ton of good stuff on there for you guys, so don't forget to check it out. So on this channel, my aim is to break down and demystify the content creation process to the best of my ability. Because the number one thing that people struggle with when it comes to manifesting is how to get over that resistance and what causes that resistance, that struggle with your own mind. And
Sorry, Maui.
keep keeps you from being able to live in the wish fulfilled, to maintain your desired state of consciousness. And after talking to many people, it's becoming clearer and clearer.
Hi, one
that
person.
There's still a lot of confusion
Hello.
around how this process works and how we go about creating our reality and ultimately changing our reality to fit the mold of what we want it to be. And there is noticeably one glaring mistake that people make when trying to manifest their desire. There is one major thing that you
Oh,
are doing
no.
that is causing you to meet resistance and ultimately find it difficult to maintain that state of the wish fulfilled. And we're going to talk about it in today's video. And more importantly, we're going to talk about some ways that you can ultimately overcome this so that you can finally manifest whatever it is that you want. So diving right into this, what is this reason that people struggle to manifest? Why does it seem to be so difficult to maintain that state of the wish fulfilled? And what is it that causes so many people to struggle in this process? The reason that so many people are struggling to manifest
Oh no.
and ultimately being met with a bunch of resistance is because they are trying too hard to manifest. They are putting too much effort and too much conscious willpower into trying to manifest what they want and trying to change their self-concept. And I especially felt the need to make this video after talking to more and more people that have a misunderstanding about conscious effort and using willpower or force to try to manifest their desire. And one common example of this that I hear about often is when it comes to affirmations and how effectively we only need to affirm constantly, repeatedly, in order for something to manifest.
Oh,
If this is
damn
something
it.
that you are doing, and if this is something that you're struggling with, I urge you to watch through the end of the video because what you are doing right now is a disservice to yourself. Because the biggest mistake in approaching manifestation in this manner is that you are effectively using that conscious effort or willpower to try to change those limiting beliefs and to try to recondition those subconscious beliefs. And when we do this, when we try to force our manifestation or try too hard using willpower, not only are you going to potentially delay your manifestation from coming to pass, but you may be making it worse. And you may be effectively kicking up more resistance than is necessary. So why is this not a good idea? Why is this not the most effective way to go about making change in your life? Well, it all comes down to one concept, one simple concept called the law of reversed effort, also known as the backwards law. Now, some of you may have heard of this law, and I have in the past touched on this in previous videos, but today I want to do a deep dive on this backwards law, or the law of reversed effort, because this is hands down one of the most common reasons that people are struggling to manifest. Because the law of reverse effort states that the harder we try to do something through conscious will, the less likely we are to succeed. French psychologist Emile Coué defined the law of reverse effort and stated that when the imagination and willpower are at odds with one another, the imagination is going to win every time. It is the imagination that always wins, without exception. Basically put, when your conscious mind is at odds with your subconscious mind, it's the subconscious that's going to win every time. You can also think of this akin to a finger trap or standing in quicksand. And that the more that you try to struggle, the more that you try to fight, the more difficult it is to escape and be free of it. At the end of the day, we need to stop trying so hard. Now, I know some of you may be confused about this concept because it sounds almost completely backwards from everything that we've been taught. And therein lies most of the problem. Because for most of us, we've been taught our whole lives that
Alright,
we need
people.
to do something to get something.
Say goodbye to my little fluffy munchkin.
Or that we need to make a plan, that we need to
I gotta
work
eat my
hard
soup.
in order
Gotta
to
eat my
get
soup.
whatever it is that we want.
Thanks for
And this is, yet again,
watching